Mr. Yapney. Huh? Well, you'll have to watch Daxton's because you guys were making poor choices. Daxton, close kind of hard golfer. I'll close it for you. Okay. So, hey, close the GeoGuessers or I will close it for you. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about what is going on today. Very easy day, very simple day. An important component in your... Hey. An important component in your final is to create a wireframe of it. So, what your job to do today by Wednesday, this is due on June 4th, the end of Wednesday at midnight, we're going to create some detailed multi-page wireframes for our final portfolios. And multi-page means 3 to 5 or more pages. That's going to be the requirement for your final project. 3 to 5 completed pages for your portfolio site. So, you have creative freedom on how the site is laid out. Camille, you have a question.
So when you say pages, is that like the little nav bars?
Yep, the nav bars. You need 5. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. You need at least 5. That does include the home page. So the home page and 4 more. 3 to 5. 3 to 5. 325 pages. No, I'm kidding. So what we're going to do today is use digital tools like Slides, PowerPoint, or Adobe Illustrator, or you can do it the analog way with paper pencils in a sketchbook or on printer paper. That is both fine and good, but we want to create wireframes for our final portfolio sites. Now, the reason on the entry task, I asked you what page do you want to create first. That's because on your portfolio, that's what you want to put front and center, so that the people who are interested in hiring you, the people who are interested in adding you to their team, the people who are interested in commissioning you, they see really quickly what you're all about. So, what can that look like? I'll have a couple of portfolio options throughout the week, but today we're getting started in wireframing out our homepage at least and getting this wireframe ready to be submitted. Yes, Avreen, you have a question. We are. So with June, if you look at the week at a glance real quick, the agenda, I wrote, when I prepped this last night, I was going to have us do the project template for June because I configured a final version for you that's a little bit easier to work with. But I don't think any of us want to go through the zipping, unzipping, configuring, saving, all that junk. So what we're going to do instead is once you've completed your wireframe, and then if you look forward in the week, you have work time as well as some group critique time, so everybody has a chance to both give and receive feedback on their wireframes before any coding happens on Thursday, Friday. You'll have a lot of time to make a really good wireframe. I just want to make sure you have it started now, so you're not trying to do it later. I've broken the final into parts, into manageable small parts. Please do the manageable small parts when you're supposed to. Because if you try to do this all in one night, it's going to suck for you, and I don't want to have to grade it after the fact everything is passed. Okay? So, keep that in mind. Everything is already in manageable parts. You just have to do the parts in order to complete it. So, what that means is once your wireframe is in a in a refined spot, after you've had a chance to do it yourself and get some feedback from your group members or from your classmates, then I will give you on my USB stick, the configured final template zip so that you can start doing your mock-up on Thursday and Friday. And then next week is basically just a straight grind to completing your personal portfolio. That's how we're going to structure this week, basically. Real quick, announcement style before I show you more wireframing. I do not have a flex tomorrow, so if you're picking flexes, I have a Wednesday one. But because of the senior meeting and because of senior yearbooks, I have no flex because we have to use that. So, let's talk about, bless you, let's talk about wireframing. Just take me to PowerPoint. I don't care about Copilot. Okay, there we go. Presentation. Okay, so first thing you want to do if you're doing the PowerPoint version is to immediately delete all of the text boxes so that you have a blank canvas to work with. We're going to insert some shapes. Now, keeping in mind that on your portfolio, it's kind of like a living resume. It's a way more interactive resume than the ones that you hand on paper at any kind of job interview, even if it's not one that is web design related. So, what you want to put on the front page is typically some type of picture of you, whether that's one that you like or you would like me to take a professional headshot for you. I will happily do that at another day. We're not ready today. But I have the yearbook cameras. I was a photographer before I was a teacher. I can get you a professional headshot that is free to use on anything you need it to be for your future professional endeavors. Okay? So, but you need some space for that by going to Insert and then Shapes. And we want it to be with a variety of these options here. So rude. You want it to be something that's big and obvious. And if you double click on it, you can say photo, right? You can say photo of me. If you want to be even more detailed, pro headshot. Okay? And then, since it's just a picture on a page that's lacking a little bit of context, we want to now start inserting more shapes that can be room for context later on. So perhaps you want a big box for your name. Okay? And then you can mess around with, maybe I want to have the name in the center. If I can find the little center mark here. There we go. Maybe I want this photo of me to kind of have a little bit of overlap so that it looks a little bit more visually interesting. Maybe I want to have a photo of me with my name underneath. And then if I click on the photo and I Control-C, VV, maybe I want to have a couple other pictures of me off to the side. Whatever the case may be that you want for your portfolio, create it in some type of presentation software or by hand. So, we want to add a new slide for each page that we're trying to create. I'm going to add 4, just for a quick example's sake. Go through and delete all of the text boxes. Now I have some separate sections. Maybe this one is for employment history. Let's go here, insert shapes box. Okay, I'm just going to do it real quick. Employment history. Maybe you want to have a, you want to commission, not actually make them, or not actually, do a transaction, but let's say reviews from friends. If I could type, apparently I forgot how to read. Friends / teachers / family / coworkers if you have them. Okay. This is kind of like a letter of recommendation section. It's also going to be a useful thing for employers to see. And then finally, we maybe want to have insert shape box. Maybe we want to have something like example of work in the same sort of layout as your home page. We can have a description of the work by inserting another text box there, maybe something description. I'll write the shortened version, and then we'll go insert. We'll do one last little shape here for details. Okay? So, this is me. This is what I want you to do with these wireframes, bless you, is to do them fast at first and then start making them more specific and more detailed. Okay? I'm just kind of throwing paint at the wall right now. I'm not very concerned with how it looks exactly, because now that I've got something to start with, I can go through and, okay, now I can slow down a little bit. Now I can resize this shape. Maybe I can Control-C and V, maybe make a couple more, okay? Right? Now I can slow down a little bit and kind of start messing around with how I want my site to be laid out, okay? The reason I am giving you so much time to complete these wireframes and why we're going to do a group critique is because I want these to be detailed. They should be 100% similar to what you turn in for your final project. Obviously, not like literally, but they should be pretty close from what you wireframe to what you submit as your final for this class. Okay? So, spend some time on these, make them detailed, make them have as much content as you think people need to know about you. right?
So it's about me page, like the entire book.
It's a professional About Me page, yes. So this is your chance to flex some of your achievements, some of your cool stuff that you want to talk about, some interests that you know a lot about. You can have a section on there for skills related to the job or skills related to you and why they're important to you. All stuff like that. I know you have some achievements. You gotta have something. There are a lot of achievements that aren't literally professional. So, if you've ever been responsible for another group of people, if you've ever had to deliver something, whether that's a project or like actual materials, if you've been a part of a sports team, if you've been a part of a club, if you've been a part of a group of people with a job, you have professional accomplishments, and you want to talk about those kind of things. So we're going to call this, up in the file name, Final Wireframe, so that you know what it is when you come back to it later. I'm going to add my name to it as well, so that I can find it really quickly and really easily. But this is what we're doing today, is getting a first round of our wireframe put together. It is due Wednesday at midnight, so that you'll have a chance to start with your initial one, get some feedback from your group members or from your other classmates, and then turn it back in on Wednesday, nice and refined, so that we can start coding Thursday, Friday. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, so seniors, you will have a separate final in Canvas that is proving that you know the same things as the other classmates here at Skyline, but so that you have enough time to complete it, it will be a separate assignment for you guys to turn in. So, real quick, before I lose you, this is the YAP finale. If you look at the final project portfolio in Canvas, a new module right underneath the Week at a Glance, the final project portfolio is in the projects category, but all of these assignments that you're currently doing is in the finals category. Projects are worth 50%, finals are worth 20%. So there's going to be all of these different breakdown sections. In the finals category, you'll get points for. Once you have all of those small assignments completed, they will turn into your final project portfolio, and I will give you a grade in Canvas so that it holds weight and isn't actually 20% instead of 50%. This will make more sense closer to the actual turn-in date. This is my long way of saying you do not have to submit anything to the final project portfolio. You submit to this by submitting to the final assignments individually. This is just a way for me to grade your final and give you some more points in a more heavy category so that it boosts your grade even more as necessary. Okay, Lucky, you had a question? Or to get answer?
You said the seniors have sort of separate classes.
Mm-hmm. So the senior final, your guys' final for this class, for my seniors in here, your fourth period final is when? Oh, I'm in May. Hold on. There we go.
It should be Tuesday?
It's Monday. So 3-4 is Monday for seniors, and then Tuesday is 5, 6, 7. So, yes.
So, are we doing this wireframe assignment?
You are still doing all the small assignments. You'll just have you probably won't have time to finish coding, so you'll have a separate section to turn in your work in progress pages. So, get through the wireframes and the mock-ups, because that's most of the web design process, and then we'll talk about that next week. So, seniors, also, once you complete a class's final, for example, your first and second are this Friday, you no longer have to attend that class period. So, after Friday, seniors, you do not have to go to first and second. After Monday, it's the last time you will be in my class, so you don't have to go to third or fourth after Monday. And then Tuesday, 5, 6, 7, is your last day at school because you're going to graduate on the 11th. Okay?
Graduation was on the 12th, and 11th was the senior assembly.
It is on the 12th. Thank you. You're right. I did not look at my calendar yet. Yeah, so you do not have to attend the class after you've completed the final. You have to complete the final before you can no longer be at the class. Okay? Sound good? Any questions? Thoughts, feelings, opinions, concerns? Okay, I'm going to wander. If you need a little bit more context, you can watch first period's video. I was a little bit more efficient. But first period's video is accessible right here. So, good luck. I'll be wandering around, wireframing. Just don't think about it today. Just do it, okay? That is a skill that you get with time. Try not to be a perfectionist, because done is better than perfect, okay? Trust me. I'll just leave it at that.